Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Man Cave Podcast. Dan Casper here with you. A couple housekeeping notes. As usual, if you don't mind, give us a quick follow on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. 5-star rating, positive review, because that helps the computer warlords, algorithms out there spread the word, the good word of the Man Cave Podcast to everybody out there. And don't forget to follow the YouTube channel as well. You know, normally on a Monday after a Packers game and such, we would do like a 715 Green and Gold tailgate talk and kind of maybe just put clips up from the show and that, because obviously, you know, we would talk a lot about the Packers game after that. But I feel like this episode of the podcast needed a little bit more. Needed to be a little bit more, you know, not just a rehash or a replay from the show, because obviously, if you are a Packers fan, yesterday, Sunday, was a tough day. Not only a loss to the Denver Broncos, not only because Green Bay's not in first place in their division anymore, they're looking back up to Chicago, and now you got to play Chicago in Chicago on Saturday. But obviously talking about Micah Parsons, Christian Watson, Zach Tom, and Evan Williams and their injuries. And the big one is, of course, Micah. We pretty much know that one. It's at the time of this recording, nothing has become official, but it's a torn ACL. And that one is like the gut punch of everything. And I can't remember. I mean, there's been other regular season games, but I think this one is at the top probably of just being completely gut punched from a regular season game, and where the main thing wasn't necessarily a loss. It was injuries. You know, there was a couple games. One was the Vikings, one was the Bears. Aaron Rodgers leaves because of a broken collarbone. And obviously those were gut punching games, right? But this one, it was just like, it was Watson, it was Tom, and then it was Micah. It can't be Micah if it's, Jordan Love and Micah are like the two players that you never want to see get hurt. The quarterback and your star all-pro defensive player. And especially when he's in his first year with the team and you give up 2 first-round picks and you have Super Bowl aspirations and et cetera, et cetera. So it was a huge gut punch. I mean, I don't know how else to necessarily describe that feeling I had, or maybe any other Packers fans out there. Just a straight up gut punch. And you throw in the Watson one. I know the Watson injury happened first, and now we're getting some more news about Watson that maybe it's not as bad, and God forbid he might even be able to play this weekend as some people. So I mean, you got that positive such and that, but it was a weird, kind of exhausting day. And I don't want to sound so dramatic or anything like that, but it was I don't know if I've really experienced as a Packers fan, as a football fan, a day like Sunday with all the injuries. I'm going to get on a little bit of a soapbox though, because there was way too many. One is too many, but there were way too many Packers fans after that game pointing the finger at Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur for losing that football game. Shut up. Okay, I'm sorry if you get upset with that take, or sorry if I offended you, but stop. Jordan Love was not a reason Green Bay lost that game. Matt LaFleur was not a reason they lost that game. Say what you want about the second half offensive performance. Was it good? No. Was it straight because it was Jordan Love's fault or Matt LaFleur's fault? No. And if you believe that, all you're doing is box score scouting, and I don't even think you watched the football game or even know what happened in that football game. Losing your top offensive lineman in Zach Tom against the best pressure defense in the entire National Football League. Losing your number one wide receiver target who does more for your offense than what shows up in the stat sheet is going to have an effect on the game. To say it shouldn't or to say it doesn't, you are lying to yourself. And you're just straight up looking for a reason, any reason, to point the finger at Jordan Love and to put the blame on him. This whole, he had an opportunity to showcase why he should be in the MVP conversation crap that I've seen out there too. You're drinking Kool-Aid that Tony Romo was spewing on that telecast. Here's a chance for him to show he's the MVP. Sure. If he goes down and leads a bunch of scoring drives and they win that game, that probably is a talking point. But to say, oh, that's why he's not good because they didn't win the game and now you're going to point the finger, that's lazy and it's inexcusable. And you're completely ignoring what the Packers did offensively before those injuries. 5 straight drives of scoring points against maybe the best defense in all of football. Now, if you want to say, hey, they should have scored touchdowns instead of field goals, ding, 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 congrats. You're exactly right. They should have. Absolutely. But you know what else happened? Stupid penalties by Rasheed Walker, pre-snap penalties, again, taking one step forward, and players on the offensive line or a tight end not getting set, making the team take 2 steps back. It's not Jordan Love. It's not Matt LaFleur. He can't hold their hand out there. Accountability. Players. Accountability. Inexcusable that it's still happening from those players at this point in time. I get it. You're on the road. Snap count and that might be a little hard, but come on. RPO one where you have an illegal man down the field. Okay, that one's tough for offensive linemen. I understand that. But it was not a good day at the office for Rasheed Walker. You might as well at some point start the Jordan Morgan tenure at left tackle. It's trending that way. But the amount of fans after that game, I don't know if it's just grieving process where you're just like, you're going through the stages of, bargaining where you got to put the blame on something. And so the quarterback and the head coach is the easy target. I don't know if that's the case, but you need to get to the stage of acceptance right now. And the stage of acceptance is the way this team gets to the postseason without Micah is because of Jordan Love. That's facts. And if you want to completely ignore what they did in the first half, what they did before those injuries, and just use the last quarter and a half as your reasoning, you're just a hater. And you're just looking for reasons to say, hey, told you that's why Jordan Love wasn't going to be good. It's okay to say you were wrong. I was wrong about Jordan Love. I hated the pick. But I don't know if any other fan bases are like this. But yesterday, for some, was the example of why so many fans get sick and tired of Packers fans and why so many Packers fans get sick and tired of Packers fans is because of logic like blaming Jordan Love for the loss. That right there, you are showcasing why people have problems with you. You are showcasing why so many fans of the same team have so much infighting. Again, I don't know if it's like this with any other fan base. I'm sure there is to a degree. But being a Packers fan and being in the middle of it all, it was embarrassing. Jordan Love is not the reason they lost. To say he was awful, you're not watching. You're not watching that ridiculous throw he had to Romeo Doubs. You're not watching the ridiculous throw to Josh Jacobs. You're not paying attention. You're looking for the negative stuff. Now, I'll admit, after the game, I had the mindset, I'm like, we're cooked. Season's done. Season's over with. It's hard not to have that cross your mind, okay? again, stages of grief. But after taking a step back and just kind of taking a breath a little bit, it's not done. Has the mountain gotten a lot tougher or a lot steeper, a lot more difficult? Hell yes, it has. There's no question. We can sit there and say, next man up. No excuses. But there's a point to when injuries affect some of your best players and the amount of injuries and at certain positions, it's going to have an effect. So yes, it'll be next man up. But let's not kid ourselves. This is an uphill battle. And I'm sure there's going to be more people saying, well, they did it in 2010 with all their injuries. Yeah, they had a lot of guys injured. Jermichael Finley, Mark Tauscher, Nick Barnett, Morgan Burnett, second year Morgan Burnett, rookie year, second year Morgan Burnett, somewhere around there. But I would argue that 2010 team, the Super Bowl 45 team, up until the Super Bowl didn't have major injuries to core guys, key guys. Charles Woodson, Aaron Rodgers missed, a game with a concussion, but it wasn't out a long stretch. Clay Matthews missed a couple games at the beginning, wasn't missing a long-term stretch long-term down the stretch. Greg Jennings, the receivers, Tramon Williams. Yes, in the Super Bowl, they lost Charles Woodson. But at this point in time, they weren't missing their core, a lot of core guys like they're going to be missing right now. Tucker Kraft ain't coming back. Micah Parsons ain't coming back. We'll see about, the Watson and Evan Williams and Zach Tom. Elton Jenkins ain't coming back. So it's going to be tough. They can do it. They can. But if I was a coach or a motivational speaker right now for this team, and I'm looking at those guys, and this is the thing too, really quick. We're down, we're upset. There's nobody outside of the players who got hurt. There's nobody who's more down, who's more upset, who's more depressed, disheartened than that team, than those players, than those coaches. And then there is nobody who has to turn it off as quickly and move on as quickly as those players, as those coaches. That's rough. You have to almost be non-human in that aspect. You got to ignore it and you got to move on. It's kind of cruel in a way too. But if I was looking at those guys, those players and that, and I'm looking at guys like Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Matthew Golden, Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Dobbs, you guys want to make a name for yourselves? You guys want to showcase why maybe you're one of the better players at your position? Or you want to showcase why you deserve more playing time? Here you go. You have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to add your name to something historic. You have an opportunity to make a name for yourself. You have an opportunity, for some of you, to make a big payday. Whatever your motivating factor is, you have an opportunity to do that right now. And if that can't get you motivated, and if that can't get you focused and excited, then what are you doing? Why are you playing this game? There's an opportunity in front of you. Go get it, take it, and use it. You have no excuses anymore. This is your opportunity to make an impact on this team. That's what players want, right? That's what anybody wants. I don't care if you're an athlete or somebody in the real world. You want an opportunity. You want an opportunity to showcase your greatness, to showcase what you're made of. And that's exactly what these players have. And that's exactly what these coaches have too. Jeff Hafley has an opportunity. If he wants to be a head coach, he has an opportunity to really showcase how great of a defensive coach he is. Matt LaFleur has an opportunity to really showcase what a great offensive coach he is. Great head coach he is. Everybody on this team has an opportunity. Jordan Love included, Josh Jacobs, whoever else. They all have opportunities to showcase how special they can be. And that's the message I would send to this team. And I look at, again, I don't know if Watson's going to be out or how long he's going to be out, but he is such a pivotal part to what this team wants to do on the offensive side. He's not going to show up, or he hasn't right now, like a Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson, those guys, stat sheets and such, but he is wide receiver number one. The amount of respect he gets from opposing defenses and the trickle-down effect that it has on the other players on this offense. Again, you watch the games, you pay attention, you know what I'm talking about. That's how important he is to this offense. And when he's on that field, everybody benefits from him. Even if he's not making the plays, everybody benefits with him on there. That's a special player. And if he is going to miss time, this is where Matt LaFleur in the next few days with his staff, Adam Stenovich, they got to sit down and be like, how do we adjust? What do we got to do to get this offense rolling potentially without Christian Watson? How do we have to change our game plan? If you've been saving anything in that playbook, now's the time to do it, to unleash it. And, on the defensive side, Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon. Keyshawn Nixon, you want to sit there and say you're a number one corner? You're not going to have the luxury of Micah Parsons going after a quarterback. Same with Carrington Valentine. You're going to have to be better at tackling, dude. Everybody on this team, special teams, defense, offense, coaches, all have to be better. So while I was pouting, sad, got through it, we still have an opportunity. Green Bay still has an opportunity. They still control their destiny. And that's exactly what they want to be in. That's what any team wants to be in right now. You want to control your destiny. Put it in the hands of you, not relying on somebody else or another team. Take care of your business and you'll be fine. And you'll get into the big dance. And then who knows what happens after that. Playoffs are a weird thing. Sometimes they go chalk, sometimes they go completely bonkers. So while it is a disheartening time and it's a downer and it's the battle, the path to get there is more difficult, don't lose hope yet, Packers fans, okay? And I get it why you're down. I'm down. But you still have an opportunity. And you still have a chance. The team still has an opportunity. The team still has a chance. And that's what you want. I don't know what's going to happen Saturday. I don't know what's going to happen the following Saturday and then the following Sunday. But what I do know is I'm still rooting for the Packers. And I've got confidence in Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, and some of those guys to be able to bring it, to play at a high level. And what has me excited, nervous at the same time too, but what has me excited is to see these players rise to the challenge. Because this is an opportunity for them. And I'm nervous because I don't know if I fully trust them yet, but I'm excited to see their opportunity. So I implore you, Packers fans, don't abandon ship. Okay? Don't abandon ship. Stop finger pointing and pointing the blame. Come together as a fan base. Whether you're a Jordan Love fan, whether you're a believer or not, or a Matt LaFleur, put that to the side right now. Okay? Come together. Group together. We got 3 weeks left in the regular season. We need everybody to stick together to get this thing to the postseason, okay? And it starts Saturday against Chicago. Got to get it done. One game at a time. I'm nervous, but I'm a little intrigued, and I'm a little excited. I feel a lot better about Micah being out there, and I feel a lot better about a healthy Christian Watson and a Zach Tom, Evan Williams, no question about it. But the unknown, that's what makes sports exciting too. And to be a sports fan, like I was even thinking this, I'm like, why am I a sports fan? Just because there's so much heartache. We're a sports fan because of when the great moments are there or when the good moments are there, they're awesome, right? I mean, they're fantastic. That feeling is just so awesome. But you got to take the pain with it. You got to take the heartache with it too. The glory is amazing. But you got to take the heartbreak with it too. It's a package deal. And the thing about sports is we can debate it. We can ponder about it. We can have our predictions on how we think it's going to go, but it gets settled on the field. It gets settled on the court. That's what's amazing about sports. That's going to do it for us on this episode of the Man Cave Podcast. Keeping it a little bit short here, but I wanted to get some more natural thoughts. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I didn't want to replay clips and all that sort of stuff. So until next time, I'm Dan Casper. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Man Cave Podcast.